Alright, what's up? Now to talk about Squid Game. Squid Game, I already talked about a few points that Wolvik was talking about. There's a whole bunch more I want to say, but I try to keep it as short as possible for the video's sake and not to drown nobody out. Like, dang, he talking so long. And I'll be boring. But anyway, yeah, Squid Game, man. In Baltimore, we have a word called squig. And it's like when you're thirsty or whatever the case, or you want some of what somebody else have or whatever. I'm like, yo, let me get a squid, because mostly talking about drinks. Like when you want to sip of somebody's drink, or they got a tea or some kind of drink you never taste before, something like that. It could be any kind of reason, and you ask for some, meaning you're like, let me get some. You don't say let me get some. You're like, yo, let me get a squig. You can say let me get a swig. Let me get a swig. You know, like a little. But when you say let me get a squig, that's lower than a swig. You know, it's like a cat full. Let me just taste what that is. You just want to taste it, you know, what it tastes like. So squig is what we say, you know, and that kind of like, I did a little post on Instagram. I sent it to North Korea, one of the shows from Netflix on North Korea. I followed them on Instagram, and I sent the little post and said something. And I was like, yeah, you know, it's just a squig for you. It was like a Baltimore club dance. And I'm like, yeah, there's something to keep y'all juices going. And then they sent the post back, you know, thanks for the squig or whatever. So now there's a show called Squid Game. But Squid Game is more deep than just that, squig or squig. Just the comparison between Baltimore and Korea, which is to say that the headquarters in Asia of the Most High's headquarters on Earth, in Asia, it is Korea. And no matter if it's north or south, it's Korea. And in America is Baltimore. But we still, I don't deal with the issue no more, like East-West Baltimore, and there be beefing and stuff like that. Like the Korea, you got North-South Korea. In Baltimore, you got East-West Baltimore. So we have more of a deeper connection when it comes to about that. Anyway, we got a deeper connection when it comes to that or whatever. So it's both the headquarters on Earth of the Most High. Whenever he wants something, his people to come, you know, when he come to the headquarters. You got the headquarters, you got the trenches. Japan would be the trenches. Korea would be the headquarters. And where is it? I think Philippines is those who did not like New York. It's like Jerusalem. You're on Earth, but your soul not here. So you're not born really, you know. So you have those two sides, and I'm pretty sure it's other parts in Earth that they have headquarters and stuff like. So if you travel to another country, you need to know where to go, know the headquarters to go to or whatever. So anyway, yeah. So Philippines is like New York. Korea is like Baltimore, and Japan is like Philly, the trenches. So if you from those different places, you can know the best place for you to go visit, so that you can meet your brothers and sisters that are from heaven. We just in different nations. You know, 7 colors of the rainbow, 7 nations. To each nation is a headquarters. So you could be yellow or orange, and if you want to go to Japan, which is red, you being orange need to know where the holy red is at, so that you can, you know, or where the holy pink is at, or whatever. Anyway, yeah, all that to say this. Squid Game. When I first started watching, I heard people talking about a Squid Game. Now, like, all right, let me go check it out or whatever. I got Netflix just to watch that, and I'm gonna cancel my subscription, like, cause I'm gonna be sure if that's just the only season, or they're gonna bring it back out, because the way it ended, you're pretty sure there's gonna be a season 2. But that is a very heartfelt, dark show that is activated currently to this day. And they said that it was they did it 2 years ago, and that was about when that was when Stan Lee was still alive, Cameron Boyce was still alive 2 years ago. You know, that was the war in Utah. So it was kind of like the spiritual war in Utah. So I guess everybody was going through their phase of this spiritual warfare, or whatever the case. However they was going through it, everybody was together on it, on pure side and evil side, but just in different ways. And so Squid Game must be Korea's version or whatever of them going through it. And not just career, because then you got the people with the face masks basically letting you know PS5. They were doing PlayStation there in PS5, or they in a PlayStation Center. Where it's life and death. So that let you know that if you got a PS5, you're not just playing the game. It's life and death with your life once you pick the sticks up. But it's if you're gonna pick it up with respect or disrespect. If you get a PS5 and it's like, oh, just PS5, or you picking it up, you ain't never had the joystick before, you like, man, what's this, you know? And you disrespecting the game, you don't know the origination of the game, you didn't study where the source from, where you don't care about none of that. You just picking up the sticks, and you just like, let me, what's this little, you know, you being disrespectful, not putting appreciation into what they made, and then you got those who are respectful, which is, it becomes commandment 5, honor your father and mother. So PlayStation 5 is for those who honor their father and mother, a safe haven, which is in my soul house. For those who are not in respect of PlayStation, it is a terrible place for you. All right, so hear what I'm saying. I know every in and out about this whole Squid Game for real. I do. I really know the in and out, because it has to do with me. And the family, the purr side family and the evil side. When they first started out, you got these people in debt and all of this stuff like that, and they're being watched. Their lives are being watched, and they want to help them get out of debt. They watch their habits and this and that and this and that. There's no secrets. Something that I already told people. There's no such thing as secrets. So we need to stop. We need to stop living as though there are secrets, you know. And yeah. So they get found out. Blah blah blah. They, you know, get sent an opportunity, and they go in, and so they get in this game, or whatever the case is, a life and death game, and they use the innocency of life, because I had put a post out with saying that it's about the innocency, because out of all of the nations in the world, I'm not gonna say nobody truly know, but everybody was having a hard time trying to find the true way of life. Like, who is the Most High Creator? Who is the Creator? What do we want from us? What is pure? What is holy? People don't have the ways of the Most High in its true form like we're supposed to. The Israelim do, but they don't put it out there. They withhold it from the world. So you think that they have no importance in the world, that rabbi's bad or this or that. You think wrong things. You're not knowing by studying and research and knowledge who has the truth of the Most High Creator here. You're just going by appearance. But since there was a lack of knowing, they used the source of innocency, which is very good. And that set the stage for those who would be the ones to carry the others. These are going to be the ones to carry the others, so that if you died, you ended up in the soul house. If you ended up still alive, you were still in the hellbound world, playing this game or whatever the case, looking for people to save. So only one was going to win in the end, or one was basically going to stay in the hellbound world in the end. But everybody else died and went to the soul house. But they really was riding on hope. They was riding on hope, like, I hope that I can make it back into the soul house. They know that they are also family of the Most High, family of heaven. They know that who they are, you know. So they like, I just want to go back home. That's what the girl was saying at the end when she got stabbed up. She was like, Master, I just want to go home now, or whatever the case. So it was more like, I just want to leave Earth. I want to go back to the kingdom of heaven where I come from. I'm tired of being a Korean. I'm tired of being an earthling. You know, you just want to go back to your original estate, your original abode. It's tired of playing a game with these people. You know, this evil energy system. All right, so also what I was talking about in previous videos about the debt. The debt is not just indebted to money, but what you make money out of, trees. So you're indebted to the spirits of the trees. And so the people that are basically operating this money are led by the spirits of the trees that can seem to be evil. It's just that it's evil to chop down the tree and grind it up and make money out of it, so that you reward evil with evil, you know, in a way, meaning like they're angry. What's coming to you is death and killing or whatever, for you murdering trees to make paper out of. So it seemed evil, but it's not. So they're just going through this big huge test and this and that and this and that. They're not wanting to play this money game because they know the cost, you know. And so that's what happens with this people and whatever. And what you're supposed to focus on the whole Squid Game, all episodes, the main person you're supposed to focus on is 001. Okay, the elderly man. and this was in previous videos that I was talking about before. Everything that I was talking about in my previous videos is what they put in the show. All right, because the wisdom is true that elder people run the world. I was telling people that, like, old people run the world, not young people. So young people need to get it in their head that when they start getting a little older to get out the house and run the streets, they're not running anything. You know what I'm saying? They're not anyone. They're not known. Like, you go out there and think you this big time drug dealer, not realizing some old lady or some old man somewhere is really running you. It could be your own grandmother or grandfather, and you don't know it all. You know what I'm saying? Because in that time, it wasn't a wrong thing. It was just, you know what I'm saying, probably a territorial thing or whatever it might have been. But you not knowing things and knowing history, they sitting there calm and peaceable, not worrying about stuff, frying up fish, no police, no cops, no nothing, no legal issues or nothing. But they running the whole thing. They can tell somebody whether to kill you or not because you owing people money. Like, understand what's going on here. You just brand new into the thing. So respect the people that have been here longer because they're the ones that's running this thing. You coming into what now they're in position to run because they're still alive. You know what I'm saying? You know, and the older you are, the more you're running things, which is why they're trying to kill the elderly people in the world. All of the old people together in this world hold the planet Earth up. You know what I'm saying? So when you kill one, you might as well kill all of them. You know what I'm saying? This is a peaceable time in a way. A peaceable time meaning there's no all-out war. Nobody running up on nobody's land, killing a bunch of old people only, or whatever the case, killing a bunch of children. Except Americans, satanic people, running up in people's land, bombing people. Like, no, you're doing too much. You know what I'm saying? Finding any kind of holy excuse to do an evil thing, masking it under a holy thing. Like, oh, these people, this, that, and the third, or whatever. So you use that as an excuse to run up on somebody's land and do something because they don't know any better instead of teach them. Anyway, 001 is the one that I don't really want to spoil it, but I don't care. He's running the whole thing, okay? And you know that when you first go into it, when they play red light, green light, or how he's always playing dumb. It's just to teach you a lesson about elderly people. No matter what sickness or illness they got, he had a tumor, he was forgetting stuff sometimes, he was dying, but he still was like letting you know, I'm not stupid. So at certain points of the game, you had the guy who was being like a fool or whatever the case, who was 4, 5, 6. He was being a fool in some senses, and a bunch of young children that's running around being foolish, fighting each other and stuff like that. The elderly man's, his mind is in a whole different space, a whole different place. Whereas so he's watching the young children, like he's assessing and analyzing them in the midst of them, analyzing them, how they are, what kind of character they got. So it goes from, yes, it's a show, but it's a show that's depicting this. After you watch it, what are the people saying about it? So that now we can analyze the people that's watching the thing. Stop being stupid. So he's not just playing in this thing as a show like, that was a good show and all this and all that. That was crazy, red light, green light. And you just talk about it like you on the outside looking in, when no, you're on the inside too, being analyzed and assessed after the show. When you go on social media or you talk amongst your friends and stuff like that about it, you know, how you feel about it, what you think about it, you're also being assessed and analyzed. You're in the game. You know what I'm saying? All right, just automatically. That's why people got debt and all this type of stuff. You're in the game in a way, trying to change the system, find a better way. All right, so he's through the game the whole time, like, you know, I'm this, I'm that, I'm scared. You just know that he was in charge. You know what I'm saying? Like SAO, when Kirito was in there and he realized that the person that made the game was in the game with them, and he realized that at the certain point where he ended up, if I can beat you, let's end the game. And then he beat the person and everybody woke up or whatever. And so that's what he realized. The creator of the game was in the game also. It's also clues to let you know that the Most High has children who made this world who come into the world too. You gotta know how to see. You don't have eyes. You know what I'm saying? That's just what Japan is trying to tell you. They are the ones that can see. They have better vision than a lot of people. Most majority of the people, they focus on vision. Some of the clans focus on vision. And so them having vision, they can tell what is and what is not, who is and who is not. So you going through the game, or whatever the case, these different things, it's showing different types of things like betrayal and this and that, or whatever the case. Fake love, real love. It even shows the flipping part. The part that you don't really think that they could capture was the flipping part. The thing that people do that watch the stuff. They love flipping. Like when you watch it, you'll go out there and flip and play. But no, this is Squid Game. You don't flip with innocent things. If you playing red light, green light, that's red light, green light. Ain't no flipping. You know what I'm saying? That's why they made it innocency in every way. Red light, green light was the first thing. Then you go on to the next thing. I forget the order of the games, but it was all showing the innocency of the people in some kind of way, like where their hearts are. And then people start betraying one another. They start doing perverted things. They start killing one another. You know, they try to feed them the food. They were showing that the disrespect, like how some people were very disrespectful, not caring about somebody else's health and well-being of eating and whatever the case. So it just showed you, and they were playing the roles of the ones that pretty much they were like, hoping for some kind of forgiveness at the end of the show. So you don't play a part that you not like. So the parts that they played were what they were like, or else the show wouldn't have aired or nothing like that. So in order for a show to air, you got to get people to play these parts, and you need somebody that really is like that. In their heart, they really got to be like that to play that part like that, so good like that. So they were telling on themselves, and after that, they had to die. You know what I'm saying? By telling on themselves that they were corrupt and whereas though they once had innocency. So this was such a show, shorty. This was such a show. Everybody started out innocent. You corrupt yourself over the way. Now you end up playing the game, showing yourself, but behind the show and the script is saying that, look, this is, we apologize. We are the actors of this thing, but we're apologizing for our thing. Now it's time for y'all to apologize for y'all thing, or else you gotta die. PlayStation, PS5. You're gonna play a game, we're gonna play a game with your life. Alright? You know what I'm saying? And that's exactly what's going on. You can't live regular life anymore now, just working on that money. That's over, because what? The pandemic came. Now you're not doing money and all of this stuff no more. You're doing, basically, it looked like money and stuff, but it's really Squid Game. It's a game. Why? Something happened. You killed somebody's grandmother. So 001, also that was what that was talking about. Through the whole game, he's struggling, peeing on himself. A bunch of different symbols and signs of what happened in Cherokee County, Georgia, where a bunch of Chinese women that were elderly, 74, 69, 63, got shot because of sex. You know what I'm saying? A man can control himself, or a man can't go and, like, you craving the woman too much. If you want to get a nut that bad, just beat your dick. All men understand that concept. If it's that bad, you ain't gonna go kill nobody. But you think you got so much power in your hand that you can just run somebody and just make them do what you say. It's not a sexual thing. It's a power thing. Like, I got power over you. I own you. I control your every movement. I'm your puppeteer, your marionette. You know what I'm saying? That's what that was about. And so here it is, Squid Game. Also, they even found a way to infiltrate the police into it, whereas they'll say that the police try to investigate the situation, and this was the sub part of it. This Squid Game is a sub thing, but it's also a physical thing, because everything metaphysical or subconscious manifests consciously or physically. It always does that. It just, with time, like they said, they did this like 2 years before, and now it's just coming out. So everything manifests physically eventually. It does. Everything is like that, which is how you got prophets and all of this, or whatever the case. There's no such thing as you know, your mind being fake or something not being real. There could be deceptions, but it's all real. All right, so going on, I keep focusing on the glass part, where they're trying to jump into the different glass and they keep falling, and then you got the tug of war thing. They're trying to tell you different things that's going on here. They're tugging. It's a tug of war. You know what I'm saying? Some people don't want to go to war. Some people do want to go to war, but everybody is like, or rather, it's a lot to say. And the elderly man 001 is telling them how to win or whatever, but he's having fun the whole way. You know that he has something to do with it. So then you had another part where you had to be partners and you had to play with the marbles. That was a key part to let you know that the elderly man 001, off the scene, off the movie, things change in life. That's what he's trying to say. Things look at 001, what he's trying to tell us that's watching, why he's wise as crap. Like I said, you need spades in your deck. He's like a spade. You know what I'm saying? He's like a king of spade or something like that. that you got in your deck to throw out there. You know what I'm saying? Or the Joker. You know what I'm saying? Well, he's not a Joker, but he's like the King of Spades. The marble part was what you needed to focus on the most. All right? The marble scene. And also he gave his jacket to 456. This all was for after the show. Offset, when everybody's sitting down watching it, you go back and watch it, what does he sing? Because you old, you understand, you learn lessons later on in life. When you tell somebody something, you might not get it right away, because you could have been that type of person that somebody told you something. When you got older, you realized the thing that somebody said to you. So him being an elderly man, seen a lot, said a lot, taught a lot, learned a lot, he said, all right, let's make a show. The show is gonna bop bop bop, you're gonna be in your feelings and emotions. But him being wise and being elderly, he already learned how to tame his thoughts according to present and future and past. So he's more calm about everything. Everybody going crazy though in their feelings and emotions. It takes a lot to be tamed in your soul like that, to be wise enough to understand that it's not about just the moment, the heat of the moment. So the whole time you watch him, he gave the jacket 001 to 456 to say that he's going to be the one to win. He chose who was going to win. Or rather, who was going to stay in the hellbound world. Who's going to stay is going to be 456 and try to find more people that's hellbound and get them out. He's the chosen one. Not to say that he was evil, but he found out who he was. You are a son of Yah. You're an original son of Yah, but you're just born in Korea. Find your brothers and sisters. And that's what he got to do. So him going on a plane was supposed to be him going to America, but he's not going to physically go. He's going to spiritually go. So at the end of the thing, he ended up going back into the Squid Game, which is now. So now you're watching Squid Game. The end of Squid Game is the start of Squid Game for all of us. You can't play hide and seek no more. You can't play, I don't know, I'm ignorant, the watcher no more. Just the TV watchers and TV sitters. People that's acting ignorant or just ignorant, don't know what's going on. Everybody has to participate now because the pandemic happened, all this stuff happening. But before that, the marble part. When you go there, it looks like his old town. And he's so like infatuated with it, it looks like he's out of his mind. And he is the tumor talking. But no, what's happening is things change so much over time, you lose your innocency. You lose the familiarity of your environment. Your memories start to fade away. You start walking around the same neighborhoods in the same city and the same streets and roads, and people that knock stuff down and built stuff up, and now it look different. Places in your city where you were used to sit and chill, or places you couldn't sit and chill, now you can chill. You know what I'm saying? Things different. And then the youth comes up so disrespectful, treating the elderly folk like you just, you know what I'm saying? They talking to us like we don't know anything that's going on. And what they don't know is that we have power over their futures. And they're so young-minded and so ignorant-minded to think that they can just go out here doing what they're doing and we don't have power over them. We just sitting here watching. But the watching them ever is over. We're really trying to kill them because they're so disrespectful in a soft way. Like your grandmother. You could say something to your grandmother so disrespectful and she could still be like, boy, argue and fuss with you. And you think you can come back and get some of that food that she used to cook and everything cool. But really, she's trying to kill you in a clever way without you knowing it, still being kind to you. You can never detect it. That's what age and wisdom obtains. You can never detect when the elderly person is trying to kill you or harm you or end your life. You can't tell that they want to kill you or something like that. You can't tell. You know what I'm saying? Unless you have respect for them. You can see, they'll let you see their heart and their intentions. So 456, he chose 456 to use the show the other sons of Yah, wherever they might be in the world who might be watching it. Use your wisdom, wake up, or not come back home. So the Most High was using 001 at that time. When you said action, the Most High came in and used him to speak to us, the sons and daughters of Yah, all right, who were in the different nations. But again, back to the marble. He's playing an even odd game. What he's trying to tell them is that, what he's trying to tell 456 the whole way is what we all supposed to know as sons and daughters of Yah. He's individually speaking to all of us. You're supposed to see it. You know what I'm saying? If I call you brother or sister, you're supposed to see what he's saying. I don't have to really tell you. But I'm saying it anyway, just in case, you know what I'm saying? Which is that's something that the Most High Father would desire. Tell your brothers and sisters what I'm trying to say. Don't just let them sit there and figure it out or guess. But he's trying to tell them that no matter how much the world is changing, I'm always going to be even. So whenever it was even, he was saying that he's still even when he was acting dumb. Like, what would you say? I think, did you say even or odd? Or I said odd, or I said even. When he was playing dumb, it was in a message to say that if it's odd, you're just acting odd, or the world is just acting so odd here. It's not even. Whenever it was even in his hand and he got it wrong or right, he played it to where he's trying to say something like, no, it's even. So that's something that you could not put in the script. That was live. He did that, pulled it out. No script told him to pull bop bop bop. He did it himself. So that was a live message in that part. You know what I'm saying? Whenever it was odd, it was odd. When it was even, it's even. He sent the message to all of us saying, I'm always going to be even. I'm never going to change. Like the Most High say, I change not. I'm the Most High. But the world is changing. People are acting odd, rolling with the punches and not ducking. You know what I'm saying? And so when he ended up losing, as though you thought he lost, I got all of it, or whatever the case, he still had won. That was the wisest thing to do. Why? Because he know that people are deceptive. And this is a deceptive world, or whatever the case. And nothing is straight. So what you do? Take back one. Hold one. So that if you win, I'm just analyzing your character. The point of it was, if we die, we die together. It's not about win or lose. It's about just going together. So what the guy said to the Indian, I think it was 69, he was trying to tell him that you give me all your marbles and trust me, and bop bop bop, at the end we're just gonna say there's no winner. All right? What he was really saying was true. The point was true. He was telling you how to beat the game really, but they still did something different than what he said. You know what I'm saying? So that's still not good. Don't know how to do something right, but do something wrong. So he ended up losing too. Or rather, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't right to do that. If you know something straight, be straight. Don't play. Don't deceive people. So he was saying there should be no winners. Let's just play until the time run out, and we either both die or we both win. But because he's scared to die, that he might die, he played the trick anyway, so that he would die and bop bop bop, he would win. Whereas though it could have been that they both lived. And what happened with the woman that didn't have a partner, she lived. She lived because she had no partner. So it was saying that they were fair. They were being fair. That if both of them had no winner and they just kept playing till there was no winner, they both could have probably moved on to the next stage. You know what I'm saying? That's fair. It also could have been fair that they both died, but there's no loser, there's no winner. So what do? You know what I'm saying? You know that they could have, it was understandable because, it's understandable because they put a request to make a change in how they want to play the marble game. So you can understand. But they did it in a familiar area of their childhood where it was a setting that they rebuilt that looked like how it was when they were young. Like when I was young in the 80s, it was nothing like what it looked like how it is now. And imagine how much more when 001, how the world looked when he was young. So it was a comfort to him. You know what I'm saying? He was purposely choosing to lose, or whatever the case, even though he didn't die. And he said, oh, my house is over here. What you were supposed to focus on is that stop worrying about winning. Stop worrying about if you know this person so long or not so long. Love people. Owe no one nothing but to love one another. You know what I'm saying? So when you're in a situation that's life and death, follow your elders. Learn from what they're doing. Observe them. You know what I'm saying? What was he doing? Observing his environment. Like, yo, this is home. You know what I'm saying? Why? Because he's close to death anyway. He realized it. So realize what he's realizing. The last thing he can probably say to the youth before he died for real, because he's old for real. So this is wisdom for you, for Netflix, and for the people that years to come. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to be about marbles and life and death and money after a long time. It's going to be about just wanting to go back to your innocency. Go back to your comfort. Go back to what is pure, the purest parts of your life and parts of yourself that kept you going through the whole life and staying free from depravity. And so he's like, I think my house is over here, over there, over here. The guy who told the Indian what he told him, he did a trick too. He took his marbles and gave him some of his land. So he said, give me all your marbles. What was he saying about the Indian? It was supposed to be a symbol to the native Indians in America. Give me all of your marbles. Give me everything that you got since they took your land. Give me what you got. You know what I'm saying? Your spirit, your energy, all of the power that you got. You know what I'm saying? And I'll give you my land. All of my land. That's what they're saying. Japan was saying that. And that happened for real already. So that's how I know. It happened already. Me and Sato, that's how it happened in the spirit world when we went to Dragon Ball Super, the Void and crap. It's a real place. When I was in the Philippines, we went there before the Dragon Ball Super came out. Then Dragon Ball Super came out. But we went to the Void. A whole bunch of people just got abducted and went there. You out your body, fighting and crap, got all this power and crap. You going crazy out there. You was what your original form was before you was coming into Earth. And there was no way that you can say that it was just a figment of your imagination, because if you died for real. You know what I'm saying? If you died when you was in that place, you did not wake up. I went crazy, shorty. And so it was just like that. And so it's just too much to explain. But let's bring it back now. What he was saying was to the Indian was 69 was that I feed you, you feed me. That's why he was called 69. They don't have anything but themselves. And so I'll give you my land, my pebbles, my smooth stones. I'll give you my land. You know what I'm saying? But you give me your marbles so that life can come to our land. And together we can be one land or one people. That's what he was trying to say. Let's be one people. Why? Earth belongs to herself and we all live on Earth. He was hoping that he understood that concept so he would say yes to it and really was sincere and serious about it so that he can be like, yes, we can make it if you choose right on this point. That part of the game, or that part of Squid Game was the most critical out of all of the rest of the show or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And he did it. He trusted him. Even though it turned out that he got shot, it was more like, I'll carry you. Give me your marbles. He got shot. Lost his marbles. But he had the marbles. And bam, he gave him the land. You just stay on the land. And I got the marbles. I'll deal with the spiritual part. You deal with the physical part. Bop, bop, bop. You get out of here. So it was a metaphysical show. Okay, so here it is. 001. He's supposed to got shot. You know what I'm saying? So in a way, it's saying, yeah, he did get shot, but it's saying, no, he didn't. You know what I'm saying? Blah, blah, blah. But let's just keep it simple, because I don't want to play with the metaphysical and the physical. You know, we're not going to play with that. You know, keep it simple. He got shot, but he didn't. Okay, he was the one who was running the game. You knew that. It's just something you can't do. Is kill grandpa. It's just something you can't do. It's kill an old person. You young, you got the gun, you want, no, it's just something you can't do. You're going to have to set that up. He's the only old person in the game for real. But somebody your age, you could possibly do that, shoot him. But nobody in the thing could shoot an elderly person. That was the trick. If anybody felt like that was something that could be possibly done, like, and you heard the gun like, pow. If you didn't feel like, he can't be dead. If you didn't feel that energy like, man, he can't be dead. There got to be something else. And you felt the energy like, oh, he gone, shorty, he gone. And you really felt like he was gone. Somebody could really do that. That means you're part of the problem. That was a stealth way to know if you're the type of person that can kill your elder or not. You know what I'm saying? You didn't focus on the elder the whole way. You didn't focus on 001 the whole way. You know what I'm saying? To know that he was running everything. Then you have a lot of Commandment 5 issues. You got a lot of honor your father and mother issues. You do not honor your elders because you could not see or hear or feel anything. You know what I'm saying? The whole show was guided off of Commandment 5. Honor your father and your mother. Which definitely goes into your grandfather and grandmother, which it never says. It never says honor your grandfather, your grandmother. It never says he who hits his father. It never says in the Torah, he who hits his grandfather and grandmother must surely be put to death. It says he who hits his father or his mother must surely be put to death. You know what I'm saying? Why would you have to search and see if it say grandfather and grandmother? To even try to search out if that's something to be said. Or like, why would you want to? That's just, or it should be automatic in you. That's why the scriptures don't tell you grandfather and grandmother. They say father and mother. All right, it's about time to take them in. Let me try to hurry up. So yeah, that's what you need to focus on. So of course, surely at the end, you knew it was him when he took the mask off, the gold mask off. They was playing an evil game, but they wasn't evil. So it's like they're on evil side, but they're not evil. Like me, I was on evil side my whole life until I was like 33, 34. Hold on, 34. Yeah, 30 till I was like 33. When I turned 33 years old, my metaphysical, my spirit and my soul moved from the evil side to the pure side. Then the pandemic happened. And then I start seeing people. I start seeing my family again. I start noticing people that was from heaven, and I start realizing things. Whereas before, my life was always in a darkness, always in a fallenness. I felt different. I felt like there was no connection and stuff like that. Like life was completely, I felt different. But when I was 33, it was a shift, and I left evil side. And so leaving evil side, coming back to pure side, my mental space became more of a safe haven for everybody, and everybody was secure. And some family knew who I was and was like, where you been? And some didn't know and was kind of like, who are you? They losing themselves too. Anyway, so for 3 years, and so spiritually or in my soul, I'm 3 years old, and I got a crack head. I'm never going to be older than 3. But in the physical world, I'm 36. All right? 3 minus 6 is 3. So anyway, I'm never going to be older than 3. That's why I was set up that way. Anyway, after that happened, at the very end, you knew, because he lost his mother. And the way he laid on his mother like that is showing you, they're trying to promote the innocency back in your child, back in the people again. You're a grown person, but your mother's your mother. Inside of you, you always gonna want to be that child cuddled up under your mother or whoever you used to be up under all the time, and not have worries and cares about life anymore. You know what I'm saying? Because this is not life. This is a big, huge game, a money game and debt and all of this bull crap. This is a game, a life and death game that you losing your life over, and they playing with you and people on the top. You know what I'm saying? Like the police officer, that was his brother. They set it up that way, but it was a way to bop or whatever, like a Sasuke and, oh my goodness, how I'm forgetting the names, yo. Itachi Uchiha and Sasuke Uchiha. It was like that. You know, Itachi got the mask on, running the game, being real strict and stern because he got a goal. But then you got Sasuke is the police officer, just wiggling in here and there, and found out that was his brother. He thought his brother was dead and all this bull crap, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So he ended up shooting his younger brother. But it's crazy, you know, how stuff be happening, yo. And then you go back and you see that 001 is the elder, and he's the one running the whole game or whatever, and appeasing these people that got power to whatever. You know what I'm saying? Do anything they want, and it's crazy. The most evil stuff ever, to just control somebody's life and make them do whatever you want them to do, wrong or right. It's crazy at the snap of a finger and all that. And so they were all telling on themselves, even the people that had the mask on, that was pretty sure they were Masons and all this extra secretive stuff or whatever, the satanic stuff, and they were telling on themselves that they want the innocency back in their life. If I can get saved and free from this, I'll put it all on the line. And then they showed themselves in the show, but they had the mask on. One person took his mask off to reveal himself. You know what I'm saying? When he tried to get the police officer to suck his dick or whatever. And so bop or whatever. But they're trying to bring that innocency back. Why? Because I had put out on a post that out of all things, the only way that's gonna get you to a point to even hear the Creator again is to get you back to your innocent point. So how do we fix that part? How do we restore the innocency in you, the childness in you, to where you went from a child to a kid, start playing, and then from a kid you went to this whatever satanic person? How do we restore the child back in you? So bring back all the childhood things that you just could not disrespect, like the ice cream truck man. You couldn't disrespect, whether it's a game or not. You're not gonna put a question mark. Somebody did that on my Instagram right while I was watching Squid Game. Somebody put I said something about the ice cream truck, and they said, I was talking about Squid Game, and I said ice cream truck, and they said ice cream truck music and put a question mark. Never put a question mark behind the phrase or the statement ice cream truck music. You never do that. Ice cream truck music should not have a question mark behind it, ever. If you're an American or you was born and raised in America, you never put a question mark behind ice cream truck music. That was the most innocent part of a child, so that you don't play like that. Because Squid Game was trying to tell you that even though they're making that a show, still in real life, this is what it's going to be. You get excommunicated, you get dealt with, you get shunned, you get pushed to the evil side if you eliminate the innocency. If anything, wait until you learn about the thing so that you can respect it. We're trying to learn how to respect people's childhood moments and innocent moments so that we can enjoy it also, because we live in the same planet Earth. If it's something that's a pseudo type of respect or whatever the case, that really was about racism or about oppression we can knock that down through learning the history of a thing. She tried to pull a card like ice cream truck was based on racism. I said, no, we live in America. You got two sides here. This is the big war zone. This is not a nation per se. This is just a melting pot full of a bunch of people. Y'all want to be evil, y'all go over there. We want to be pure, we go over here. We're going to create something mutual for everyone. When you grow up, however you're going to be is however you're going to be. The only way that you can probably make it back is through these innocent things. Ice cream truck. Everybody, whether you evil or not today, you know about the ice cream truck, and that can probably save your life. Bring you to an innocent heart again to try to hear the Most High again. That's what Squid Game was about. Bringing you back to innocency. The game is over. Bring them back to innocency. If you can make it out, you can make it out. And then you can hear the Most High Father again. We found someone that made it back home through literal obedience on earth. Physical obedience. Like, he know the physical way of what you're supposed to do and how you're supposed to treat one another, of morality. But before you can get to knowing morality of what the Most High want in detail, we need to get you back to innocency. We need to restore your innocency and bring back the childhood stuff again. And the new childhood stuff. You know, that I'm waiting on respect too. Some of the stuff I be saying, I be like, I don't know if that's respectful or not. I need somebody to tell me if that's a respectful thing or not. So I'm waiting on the respect. I need somebody young to tell me. Like my little cousin, he was like, man, he said he tried to try me. He was like, I was like, what you used to watch when you was young? He was like, man, it was this thing right where it had the monsters or whatever. And I said, yo, Gabba Gabba. He was like, he started smiling like, man, he used to like, you became a grown man. So how he reacted at 11 years old, he 11 years old, how he reacted being 11, it's the same way he would react when he's grown, but it becomes more serious because that's the only innocency he had to return him back to a warm memory so they don't get cold or grow cold or depraved minded and start killing people, doing some crazy stuff. So when he said that, I said, dang, man, I said, yo, Gabba Gabba. He like, oh, he couldn't say what you know about Yo Gabba Gabba. It was like, come on, boy, I like to share. Get out of here. So it was like, you need the respect so that you can laugh and joke and have that innocent fun and laughter to heal you. You need that. You know, it's family. It's what you do. Even people on the street. It brings that fear of communicating and connecting. It moves that fear away. So like if you know that somebody's an 80s baby or whatever the case, or you know somebody, whatever the case, however old you is, look for the childhood respect. Like, what did they used to watch? Backyardigans. What? Backyardigans? Man, that's like Benya Benya, Gullah Gullah Island, or Eureka's Castle. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Or the Temple Run, the old school Temple Run on Nickelodeon. What would you do? And it's all of this. And you know what I'm saying? And now you got the new stuff, like you got Backyardigans. That's all I was able to catch up on. Backyardigans. They brought a lot of old school stuff, kept it going, like DuckTales and Mickey Mouse. They keep that going. The respect already always there. But still, we be having to look for intentions and some of that stuff to see if it's really pure or not. But still, the ice cream truck. Like in China, they got the ice cream man, and he put like fruits and all kinds of stuff on the thing. It's like a cold thing. It's like real cold, and whatever you put on there, liquid you put on there, freeze up or whatever into ice. But when he mix milk with it, it turns into like an ice cream or whatever. And you put it in the thing, like the children. You looking at the children, like you looking at him. But when I was watching one of the videos, I'm looking at the children, like how they was looking at like each other and how he was doing that thing, like chopping that thing up real nice. And they like, he was getting it real, and I'm looking at the little boy, like looking at them, like, man, out of here. Like he wanted to say, out of here, shorty. He nice with it. Like you had to be nice with it. Like the ice cream truck, man, like the way he put the swirl on that thing and the sprinkles or whatever, like when you make it real big or whatever, or double cone that thing or whatever, you looking at how he put the ripples in that thing, like, man, out of here, he nice, shorty. That's the ice cream truck, man. Put the ripples in that thing with the sprinkles. So it's like all of that. And then the different ice creams that bring the child back in you to your innocent point so that you can hear from the Most High. And that's the point you want to stay at. So Squid Game is all about that. Returning to your innocency. You know, getting out. So at the end of season 1 of Squid Game, it was his way, 465, it was his way of getting out. Like, it's time for him to get out. That's why at the end was the same as the beginning. It's like the new people are so disrespectful that they probably won't ever get out. But you, 456, you live your whole life now. You're a grown man now. Come back over here to the side, and you gotta wait. Let's get out of here. So it's like, let's get out of here. But what happened was he got on the train like, no, I'm gone already, shorty. You dial a number up and you get out. You know what I'm saying? It's like we're leaving. But the new generation and the new children, they're going to have to find a way. We have to do our best. They're going to have to figure out how to get out themselves. They're way too disrespectful to the elderly. They have no respect at all. We can't talk to them. And if the elderly people can't talk to the youth no more, you can't tell them stop this or stop that. Or the first time when I seen the disrespect level get that point where it was an old man on the bus, right? I want everybody in the world to know this one. Old man on the bus, we in Baltimore. Driving on the whoops, I drive 13, driving on the bus 13, West Baltimore, coming up North Avenue. You know what I'm saying? North Avenue in Bentlow, the bus stop. But the man was on the bus, and there was an elderly woman on the bus, a woman of gray hairs. You know what I'm saying? The Bible tells you, respect the elderly or the people of gray hair. You know what I'm saying? And so it didn't say whether he was evil or good. Respect people of gray hairs. You know what I'm saying? And so what happened was, it was these people, they was from CVS or CB, whatever, some kind of street. It's like you rep your hood. You wasn't no Bloods and Crips. So you just rep the neighborhood you was from. So CVS, the flight jackets, they put it on the back or whatever. And what happened was the old man was telling one of the young boys, where you first start hearing young people start cursing and saying whatever they want to say out their mouth, and they don't listen to the elderly people when the elderly people say chill out, stop cursing or whatever. You got elderly people here or an old lady here, right here. They would instantly shut up. Like, oh, I'm sorry, sir. I'm sorry, sir. They would feel a conviction like, I'm sorry, forgive me, sir, forgive me. You know what I'm saying? And they would shut up and be quiet. And then even at homeboys like, yo, chill, shorty. They would even turn on them like, yo, chill, shorty. He said that's an old lady, a grandma right there. That's a grandma level right there. Stop cursing. You know what I'm saying? That your friends would turn on you. But the first time where it started happening to where they crossed the line was when the elderly man was like, it was a packed bus too. He was like, young man, it was already a struggle for elderly people to talk to the youth because they don't listen. So he took a step like, this is the line cross. If he don't listen or this young man don't listen, it's done for. You got to save yourself and save whoever can be saved at whatever level, the 80s babies or whatever. The rest of them got to find their own way. And that was back in like what? I was out the Navy at that time. I was out the Navy, so I was 20 something years old. But still, he like, oh, how old? I forgot. I wasn't from that era or whatever this guy was doing. And he was like, this, that, and the third, beat, bop, boop, cursing. He like, young man, stop cursing. You know, so elderly woman right there, you know, she don't need to hear all of that cursing. You know, a young man cursing like that, you're like, that's like your grandmother or something. You know what I'm saying? She don't need you, a young man, cursing at her, cursing and stuff like this, messing, you know, vexing her. We all understood that. Stop cursing. We know why. You know what I'm saying? It's an elderly woman right there, stop cursing. You might disrespect me because I'm a man, and we understand how you don't have fathers in your life and all that. You can probably look at me like, man, get out my face. But you never going to disrespect your mother or your grandmother or somebody else's mother or grandmother. You never can do that. You always gonna be, young men always be like, oh, how you doing, grandma? But it's not that grandma for real. The respect was always there. So he played it that way. It's an elderly woman over there. Wanted to see where he at. And then he was like, man, get out my, man, you don't get the F out my face. They was on the back of the bus. And so when the bus stopped, this had to be older because this still had the bus with the green lights. When the green lights come on, you had to push the doors open. There wasn't all this automatic crap and all this stuff yet. So it was still the old buses where it's real high up and you had to climb up the steps to get up on that thing, not just walk up on the thing or the thing hydraulic down for you, like, so you can get up. It wasn't all, sorry about that. So anyway, when the green lights came on, the guy kicked the old man out the bus or whatever the case. I got cut off. And when he got kicked out the bus, like back then you had to go down the steps to get out the bus or whatever. He kicked him right out the back, flew from the top down the steps through the doors. When the green lights came on, he kicked him, and then they jumped off the bus after he hit the ground. Boom, straight hit the ground, flew through the doors, hit the ground. They start stomping him. He's an elderly man of gray hairs. Start stomping him out with butters on, constructs as y'all call them in New York. Start stomping them out. Some CVS boys. That's when I started disrespecting gangs and Bloods and Crips. That's the first day I started disrespecting all of that. I started seeing things happen. It wasn't even about gangs. It was just about you just disrespectful, yo. Because your elder always are supposed to override anything that you're doing. And you like, oh, Blood and Crip, but what was before Bloods and Crips? Or was there even Bloods and Crips when they was coming up and they elderly? So if they know more about the stuff that you into than what you know. You know what I'm saying? And so you disrespecting them, it was crazy. It is new CVS and all. I'm from CVS, I'm from this, I'm from that, I'm from. It was crazy, yo. Everybody saying they from something or from somewhere. A little bit respect was given because that's the neighborhood you grew up in, so it was more respectful. But you, yo, not it was an individual thing, yo. Like, wasn't no such thing as Crips and Bloods in our city at all. You know what I'm saying? Still, to me, is no such thing. But there was no such thing as Crips and Bloods in our city. It was just the street that you grew up on, that's where you was from. You know what I'm saying? And that's where you represented. I'm from Park Heights and Oakford. Like, where you from, Park Heights and Oakford? You never said I was with some kind of gang or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? That's where they came up with the word thug life. Not, I'm in a gang, I'm just tough. You know what I'm saying? That's where the difference between thug and gangster came from. At least in our understanding, you know. It came, the split. I'm not a gang banger and all this extra stuff. Like, you can't even wear red or whatever. Red's your favorite color. You moved to California from Baltimore. Now you can't even wear red. You get shot up because the people from California don't understand what Baltimoreans is like. They never been to Baltimore before. And you like, I'm from Baltimore, and you wearing red. Red my favorite color. They don't know nothing about Bloods and Crips. You don't know nothing about from Baltimore. And they're like, well, what set you from? I'm like, what the heck is you talking about set? Like, yo, I'm from Baltimore. I'm from Park Heights and Oakford. Like, ain't no Crips and Bloods where I'm from. You know what I'm saying? And then them not believing that thing could make it go overboard and this and that. Like, just don't wear red around it. Like, what? You don't tell somebody that. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it had to become a difference what Pac was doing with the thug and gangster thing. He did his best, but you know what I'm saying? But the point is, it's an individual thing, you know, and it's hard for you to come back to your innocency. You're a lost cause. And that's what was going on with Squid Game. Squid Game was for us, you know, 60s, 70s, 80s babies. And some of the 90s babies. And whoever can get on. Whoever can get on board. Which was the new guy. You know what I'm saying? But what happened was he took the thing from him. He took the car from him. Was like, no, you don't go or whatever. It was a backwards thing where, no, you don't get out. Like, y'all so disrespectful. You young children so disrespectful. Got me wearing red hair and crap like this. That's the new thing. That's it, and that's stylish and all this. LGBT crap is so far-fetched. Y'all accept things that you're supposed to die for now. And you want to get out? So he took the car from him, and he was like, homeboy was on the train like, he don't know nothing about the slap thing or whatever. It just was like, no, we tried with the new people. I'm on the train, I'm out. You call a number, you get out through the game. But the young man right here, let them stay in this mess. You know what I'm saying? And it was like that. They could find their own way. It was disrespectful, but sorry. It was sad, but sorry, man. We out of here. We don't come from this world. When our time, there was no such thing as money running everything. At least even when I was young, it was a little bit more fair. 1 penny get you 1 piece of candy. If you had 25 cents, you can get 25 pieces of candy. You know what I'm saying? And that you can share with your friends and stuff like that. We didn't say eat that whole bag by ourselves. We shared with our friends. We would save it if we could. You know what I'm saying? But we would share with our friends. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you had 5 cents. Sometimes you had 10 cents. Sometimes you could find a penny in the gutter. My grandmother always picked up pennies when we was walking and stuff, and she would save the pennies. And then I'm like, Grandma, can I get 25 pennies so I can get some pennies? She give me some pennies, I get some candy. Penny candy. That fairness or innocency level started fading away, but I still had some of it. And my 80s crew had some of that innocency. Y'all just crazy now. You know what I'm saying? Late 90s, millennials, some of the early 90s too. Y'all done went so far crazy, yo, that you can't come back from it. No way in the world could a man go so far as for whatever reason you trying to do it for. Like, it's better to die than to try to pretend to show that you pregnant and you a man to put that image out into the world. You being famous all over the planet. You not assuming with a balance. You're assuming only one way, like everybody understand. No, everybody don't. You got a belly and you a man, yo. Trying to say I got a baby shower with a dick. I got a baby with a dick. That's the wrong image to send throughout the world. Everybody not the same. Some people are protected in their minds and stuff. They don't see stuff like that or supposed to see stuff like that. Korea, they watch stuff that go on TikTok and stuff, and they ban stuff after they watch it. You know what I'm saying? That stuff can haunt you. You know what I'm saying? It can haunt you, yo. And it can mess you up. It can mess your innocency up. Like, yo, like, what the heck kind of world is this? Make you scared to go outside or go out to the world. When I was in the Philippines, they tried to hold me there because Lynn, she really was in love with me for real. and she didn't want to see me alone like the how I was. What happened between me and my ex-wife? She didn't want to see me alone. What happened was she was like, she had went out there, and she was just young, 18 or whatever. She was sheltered, and she was protected with the innocency of the elders, like she was raised right, you know, with respect and honor and stuff like that. And she saw that I was very respectable and stuff like that. You know, I'm not gonna put her business out there, but because I said I love her, I'll say that. I'll say this. I'll say it because I said I love her. She was bald, or she is bald. Her head don't grow. She got to wear wigs, so she's a bald head woman. And when I first met her, they took her head off and she was bald, and I didn't laugh. I didn't think it was funny, so she saw that I was a respectable person, and from that day the love started to grow. But when ended up happening was she went out there and she came back and told me something. It was like, don't go out there, the world is evil, the people are crazy. Something that I already knew, but I was just looking at her realize it. At 18, 19 years old or 20 years old, I'm watching her realize that the world is crazy. Like, the people are crazy out there. They lost their mind. Like, they doing anything, everything to survive. Like, what the heck? No morality, no sense of innocency anymore, no purity, no heart anymore. And I was like, I looked at her. I didn't say I understand. I just looked at her like, you know, I already understand that, you know. But she was trying to tell me, like, she was not letting me leave. Like, kind of looking at me like, nah, you can't leave. You can't leave, you know. And it was more like a love, like, you know. But yeah, still not to hop on that. What I'm trying to tell you is that you just can't do anything and expect the whole world to assume to understand where you're coming from while you're doing it. You can't do something like that and then say something different after the fact. Some things you're not supposed to be able to do. You know what I'm saying? That's why I always say the Most High Father desire be done. Let the Creator's desire be done. If your grandmother tell you, slap me in my face, it's just going to be a prank. We're going to play a prank, right? You're going to slap me in my face, and we're going to see what they do. And then afterwards, you're going to, oh, it's a prank, it's a prank. You know what I'm saying? Like the shut up daddy, the shut up challenge. If a child accepts to agree to do that challenge, like, what? And you don't feel in your heart, that should not be something that should not be a thing that can be done, because you played with the word prank. That word prank, you played with that word so hard to where you ended up crossing the line on things that we looking like, yo, you really could do that? We not taking it as a prank. It should be something in your heart to be like, nah, let's not even do that prank. That's too far. Some things are too far. You can't do everything in the world and be like, oh, it's a prank. Let's go over here and shoot some people or whatever the crap, and be like, oh, it's a prank. Shoot at some people. It's a prank. No, yo. You're not supposed to ever, a child not supposed to ever be able to, be capable to tell their mother or father, shut up, leave me alone, get out my face, things like that. You're not supposed to ever be able to do that in your heart. It's not supposed to be possible. The parent that is feeding you, raising you, you're safe from the outside world, the elements. You're so comfortable. You don't know anything going on outside in the world. You don't know the dangers of the world, but you can do something like tell your parent to shut up. The disrespect of the youth to the elders. Why PS5 is it. That's like the last one and the only one. Probably can go up to 10, the 10 commandments, and they can play with that. But 5 is the bridge. Honor your father and mother. That is the bridge back. And they'll get you back to your innocency. The things that they prepare for you when you was young, with cartoons and all this stuff like that, ice cream and all the innocent things they prepare for you to maintain your innocence. And they help you get across that bridge, or they make sure you don't cross the bridge. You know what I'm saying? Honoring your father and your mother, especially your grandfather. That's why they put 001 up there, grandpa up there. Like, if you can't respect grandpa, you definitely ain't getting back. Because that was a symbol of the Most High being used in that show, Squid Game. 001. That's why it's 001, not just 1. Like, why is it 00 then 1? That don't make sense. You know what I'm saying? Why should it just be 1? You know, it was a funny thing. The Most High was using him. So dang, yo, Squid Game, that was crazy, yo. Y'all need to pay attention, yo. That's a serious show, and it's live right now, because now the way it ended, those of us who escaped and got back to a safe mental space and a safe soul space, so that when we die, our souls will go to the kingdom of heaven. You know, you just stop thinking everything physical. You gotta die. Where you gonna go? You know, you're not gonna fizzle away. If you feel like you're gonna fizzle away, maybe you deserve to fizzle away. That's why you thinking you just nothing after this thing, because that's what you deserve. But those of us who don't deserve it, we're trying to get back into a pure mental space, a pure soul space. You know what I'm saying? For your metaphysical, your protoplasm. You know what I'm saying? So you're trying to live a physical life of purity to get all of those things connected in one. If you try to do it in your mind only and not in your flesh, it's going to be harder. You know what I'm saying? But if you do it in your flesh, obey the Most High Father, in your mind and your flesh, every part of you is bound in your flesh. If you do it in your flesh, every part of you is safe. I don't know why y'all thinking like play games and flipping too much. No, do it physically so that all the parts of you can be safe and protected. That's why people be looking at me like, why you so da 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 da? Because I do it physically. Against all odds, I trusted the Most High. This is His world. No matter how I'm thinking, no matter how I'm feeling about my personal situation and my little situation I got going on, I know how to open my mind and look at the sky and be like, yo, there's greater things going on. The Most High made this world. He's still here because it's still revolving. So I'm going to trust the Most High. Whatever He say, I'm going to do it. Because it always got to end right. No matter if I'm going through pain or suffering or not. It's always going to end right because this is His world. And the world is holding up pretty well. And the world is holding up pretty well. The world is holding up very well. You get to eat, food, shelter, clothing. Things still going. You get running water. You okay? Just evil people that's making evil systems in His pure world or His world. It's just crazy, yo. So, with that said, yo, I'm going to end it. There's so much more I can say about Squid Game, yo. So the severity of Squid Game and the liveness of Squid Game about how it is active presently to this day is active. Everybody's in Squid Game, or unless you escaped. If you escape, you're not in Squid Game. But the youth, they're in Squid Game. They got to go through this thing. They have to learn how to respect their elders and stuff like that. If they can't, they're gonna die off. Start dying young and dying in that sleeping crap. That's what Squid Game is saying. We're not caring. You're old enough. You're too old to be being disrespectful and not understanding that you got to respect your elderly people. You go get a job. It's going to be somebody older than you, running you, managing you. That's how you understand that elderly people or people older than you run things. Companies, this, that, whatever the case. Old people run these things. People that been here a long time. You know that when you get out the house. But when you're still in school and crap like that, as far as your mind can go as your students, you look at the teacher like, you just a teacher. You can kind of try to disrespect your teacher. Because you're not getting paid or none of that crap. You still safe under your mother, so you disrespecting your teacher, hiding behind your mother, and then it's the penalties putting on her. You know what I'm saying? And then that's where the parents got to discipline too. They have to. You can't do it late. When you do it late, it's hard to get them in check. You know what I'm saying? But you can still try. You know what I'm saying? It could be any different kind of hiccup or error. You know, you got to pay your small penalty, fix your hiccup, and then try to, you know, get your children straight or whatever. Or do your best. I'm not going to talk about that in detail, but yeah, that's neither here nor there. That's the special cases and stuff. But children be disrespectful, yo. And when they get out here into the real world, they see how disrespectful they really being. And they out here trying to survive. Going through crap, being disrespectful, yo. Coming in people's homes and houses, trying to be friends. Oh, this is my friend. Or whatever. But the friend's so disrespectful to the family. Or whatever. Like, you know this person, what? A few years or whatever. They haven't met all your family. They assume that they met all your family because they only in this small part of your family. They don't be in no family reunions or none of that. Sure enough, if ever they come to a family reunion or a bunch of people come, like if my aunt started a cookout right now and invited the whole family over, and the friends of the family come, they're gonna be, and they was the disrespectful kind, you know what I'm saying? Then they're gonna feel outcasted. They're not gonna feel inclusive. They're gonna be like, dang, yo, I feel out of step, and they're gonna be looking at you like, yo, I've been in this family my whole life. I know everybody in here. I just haven't been around all the time 24/7. You know what I'm saying? I've been living my life. But still, the family is immediate. You got to always be respectful, yo. Respect, it's like, yo, things are different, yo. The disrespect level is too high. You know what I'm saying? Way too high. But people not thinking that your friend can end up disrespecting somebody in your family, them not realizing the importance and the love level that is on that person in the family. And if they do something, say something wrong to the person, something gonna happen to your friend. Especially if somebody start losing their life or some crap like that, it's gonna be crazy. So respect, yo. Always respect. Don't disrespect nobody, yo. You're not even supposed to show disrespect to family members to show your friends that they can also disrespect family members. You should never do anybody from outside have more say-so over the people that protected your whole life from when you was born and before you was born. Meaning these are people in your life, like uncles and aunties and stuff, that made sure your mother made it through her childhood, made sure she was safe, you know what I'm saying, from harm and physical danger and stuff like that, to even get to an elderly age, to have sex, to have you, and be here today to the point where she can take care of you. You're not thinking. So stop disrespecting people. Understandable. When we grow up, people get different kinds of mindsets, and we do different kinds of things, and we go separate ways. That's as far as it go. Like, I don't want to follow you, uncle or auntie or whatever, because the way you thinking, it doesn't make sense to me. You know what I'm saying? Be respectful still. You know what I'm saying? And still try to consider it. Like, what you saying, is this wise? Is this, got to know how to think, but not know how to, it's just a mess, yo. You can disagree without being crazy. You know what I'm saying? But if somebody's saying something right, you want to hold on to it. That's how it's supposed to be. When you saying somebody saying something right, hold on to it. Somebody telling you jump off the cliff, don't do it. You know what I'm saying? If your uncle telling you, hey, let's drink this beer and get drunk, don't do it. If you're telling you, let's sniff this coke and get high, don't do it. Because you should be able to think about these things. If you're old enough to fuss back and yell back, you should be old enough to reason and think whether something is right and wrong to listen to or not. Just don't off top disrespect people. Look at yourself and understand, why are people yelling at me? What is the bigger picture here? You know what I'm saying? You got to start thinking more, instead of moving off your feelings and emotions, what you want. Just one piece of the existence. You just one part of the bigger thing. Yo, everything is not revolving just around you. It revolves around all of us. When you understand that, then it can revolve around you, as important as it does everyone else. So it seems like you more important than other people, but really it's all of y'all important equally. You know what I'm saying? Everybody is special equally. And you feel that thing. Everybody feel it. You know what I'm saying? That's all it is. A family. Everybody's equally important. Nobody is outcasted or treated less than the other. And that's the error. That's the issue. You know what I'm saying? The two-way street, that's the issue. Anyway, the Squid Game show all of that, man. It showed all of that. Because at the end, the last game, Squid Game, him and his brother was like, you know, we used to play this game, we was young and all this. I used to always beat you and all this. Now you changed, you different. And it turned into them where one brother would kill the other, but he couldn't. It was one thing that they couldn't do. They could not kill each other. So one brother, he killed himself. And the other brother ended up, you know what I'm saying? They could not do it. But because the innocency of the game, or whatever the case, it turned into something dangerous. Whereas though when they were children, they were just like, I'm gonna beat you one day. And the same innocent, whereas though you get older, it can become an evil thing. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, it's how it be. Cain killed Abel. But before Cain killed Abel, he was young. He wasn't always probably like that. You know what I'm saying? He got older, started growing harboring some ill feelings, didn't shake that thing, and ended up killing his brother. And that's what you get at Squid Game, at that last game. And you got PlayStation. Why? This all is happening in PlayStation. But they was trying to say they're not Xing anybody out. We're just going to square people, circle people, and triangles. That's all they doing. Triangles, squaring, and circle. But they're not Xing anybody yet. Now they Xing people. At the end of season 1. Or the last episode of season 1 was probably the last episode or not, but, you know. It's crazy, yo. Please pay attention to that. It's not just #1 in the U.S. because it's a connection to the end of the world, or the ending of the economic systems in the world, and the way of life that we know it. It is a stepping stone of it. So it is more critical. It's #1 in America. People are supposed to see it. That this show is depicting the end of what we know. You know? The fight back against oppression. Finding the Most High Creator, doing what He say. You know? Living pious lives and stuff like that. That's what's going on here. The shift. And the collectivity of the whole world together, realizing or re-realizing that they are children of the Most High Creator, and they're not humans. They're not whatever nation they in. You know, this was just a test run. The report was going on down here, and we're waking up. We got to go back home, and then we got to change the systems back to the way the Most High Father want, because we are His children. It's not about nations and cultures, really. It's just about what the Creator wants. He made all kinds of things. So for this earth system, what is it that He want? And we must do it, you know? And then we can make it a culture or whatever the case, for term's sake. But just do what He want in His world. And if we go to another world, or whatever, another universe or another existence after this. Like, dang, what's this existence? This existence? Yeah, this is the Jabogajos. I made these Jabogajos and give you the whole rundown of the existence and creation of Jabogajos. And now I want you to go down into it, and I want you to be a Jabogajo. So you go into it and you become a Jabogajo. It could be pleasant or it could be terrible, like this human existence is. See, we're children of the Most High. That's a vast thing to say. I'm saying, multi-beings. We be whatever the Most High tell us to be, and do what He tell us to do, as He tell us. You know what I'm saying, if He say this is that, it's this is that. If He say change and said now it's this is this, and this is no longer that, then the Most High say. The Most High say. All right. So with that said, I'm gonna let it go. I said so much. That should be enough to eat off of. Squid Game for y'all to wake up and realize it's not a nice show. Oh, that was nice because they said red light, green light. It was something for you to realize. So if you heard what I said, you watched what I said, you can rewatch it and see some things. That's it. Shalom, shalom.